Manojit Nandi, Manojit. Last name Nandi, Nandi.
Nice. And Manojit, how did you come to be involved in the panel tonight?
So I guess like my first start in data science was like 5 years ago when I was in college, and there was a data science for social good fellowship based out of the University of Chicago. And so I was one of the fellows accepted in the inaugural class, and that sort of got me interested in like how can I use my data science and machine learning skills in order to solve problems with high societal impact. So I worked on a project to basically build a system that could help the Red Cross or other first responders during a disaster by finding information on social media that could be useful. So if like someone tweets, "Help, there's a fire downtown," we could take that tweet, figure out where it comes from, and then relay that information to the Red Cross, and so they can go assist those people.
Wow, that is definitely a great example of using technology for common good.
Yeah.
So when you say using technology to help, like in natural disasters, how do we get technology in those places that, let's say, I have a bunch of people that I know that say Cuba doesn't have as much resources when it comes to Wi-Fi and resources like that. How do we like get those resources to places that don't have them?
So I think with a lot of trying to bring tech to developed worlds, like a lot of people try to bring advanced solutions way too quickly. And I do one thing that like you can't really do this like as a savior complex. You have to work with the local communities there. You need to help build up long-term infrastructure in order to have like reliable internet and reliable technological infrastructure before you can start thinking about how can we then like use advanced algorithms or machine learning to better solve those community problems.
Nice. And how long have you been involved with Disruptive Technologists and acting as like an advisor or speaker?
Only a couple of months now. So Lauren reached out to me, I guess when they were planning this panel. They're like, "Oh, hey, you were recommended for this panel by a friend of mine. Would you be interested in speaking at this panel?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can speak at this."
Nice. So where do you see the future of AI and technology, not only in the stuff that you're trying to do for common good, but just the overall picture?
So I guess like I'm a focus on common good, and so I do think there's this idea of like fairness and transparency in AI that like we right now have like a bunch of these black box algorithms that sort of determining people's fate, and we sort of realize that there are these problems with this where like people are hired or fired based on this like black box algorithm, and no one knows what this algorithm is doing. And so I think one thing we're looking into is like how can we better understand what these algorithms are doing? Like why did it make this decision? With a human, you can sort of ask them like why did you fire me, and they can come up with some explanation. Whereas with the algorithm is like okay, you know it did some math and it made some decision based on that, but you don't understand like what was the math it did. And I do think in the future going forward, we're gonna start thinking about like how can we like de-black box these algorithms, both from like the common good perspective, but in a general like AI perspective, like it's better to know what your algorithm is doing so you can catch this edge cases before it leads to a disaster or a PR disaster.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to having you speak tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.